Hi guys, welcome back to Confidence and Coffee. I'm here with my new friend Megan. Megan and I are so just in victory mode because we are doing this interview because life has not been our friend or in our favor with everything that's going on. So unfortunately, it's been a reschedule, and it's like backstory. I like to share things, Megan, just random things with my beautiful ADHD and just bringing people in this conversation. But even today, this interview that we had planned, my kids' school has personal development, so everyone's home. But thank God for buddy programs and older children and TV and snacks and bribery because I'm not canceling this interview. Again, not going to happen. But let's get on to our guest here, Megan McShane, right? Did I say your name right?
Yes,
McShane.
yep.
Megan McShane, she has had 13 years of experience in her own business, her own studio, and being like a yoga teacher. But there's so much more to her spiritual journey that led her to study under the lumineers of Brian Quest, per J.
Preeta G and Krishna G.
Yeah, she holds a BS in marketing, advertising, public relations from Emerson College, and a PhD at the University of Sedona. She's a co-founder and owner of Your Best Life Now, a high-level mastermind focusing on faith, family, fitness, and finances for global entrepreneurs. And she continues to elevate everyone around her with her passion and dedication. She's a force not to be reckoned with when it comes to leadership and personal development. And you've spent 13 years with Tony Robbins, honing your negotiation and coaching skills while curating world-class events worldwide. Certified yoga teacher for 13 years. She owns Grace Yoga, which can be very controversial in the Christian community. So I'm so eager to hear your perspectives on that. But Megan, I think you're the best at explaining who you are. Tell us a little bit about more of who you are and what gave you the heart behind doing all of the things that you're doing in the personal development entrepreneur aspect, from yoga to I'm going to teach you how to be a mastermind with entrepreneur. Tell me a little bit about.
Well, thank you for that introduction. I'm really excited and really blessed. So, my background, I always love learning new things, whether it's about spirituality, faith, personal development. My background was originally in sales after I went to college. And then I started going to these different events and learning more about growth in all areas of your life. My father sent my brother and I to a Tony Robbins event. And I was like, this is so cool. I knew at a young age that I wanted to help people find their purpose or fulfillment in life. So I always had a deep spirituality. I was raised Catholic, but I consider myself definitely. I went to this event and then I started working for him and traveling the world and meeting all kinds of incredible people and helping clients find fulfillment in their life. And around the same time when I got into yoga, I was such a busybody. I was always like a go-getter, and my mind was always that monkey mind. And someone suggested try yoga, and I was like, I don't know. I was always a runner, and I'm like, I don't know. That seems a little woo. But from the first day I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, I felt at such peace and I felt so much clarity from doing the practice. It's a moving meditation. And I'm a Christian, but I also meditate every day. So it's about balance. With the yoga, that's exactly what it's done. It's a practice of patience, of getting to know yourself because it's just you and your breath and your movement. I think that's challenging for a lot of people to get still and really go inward. But for me, that's where I find when life gets really busy and crazy, that's where a lot of the answers are in that quiet and in that stillness. So then, yeah, I traveled the world and worked with the Robbins organization for 13 years. And then the pandemic hit. My son at that time was only one, and I'd been going through a divorce, and
Mm.
I just kind of reevaluated my life and was, I want to be a mama. I want to be home. I had been traveling 18 times a year. The biggest blessing in COVID was for me to slow down and stop. And so I was living in Florida at the time, and my family was from Massachusetts. So my son and I we moved back to Massachusetts to be around family, and that's then I opened Grace Yoga in Cape Cod, and I loved it. It was bringing community together, and people we need each other, especially women. It's like you need, I think, in life, a support group. It's hard raising kids. It's hard running a business. It's hard managing the house and being a spouse and all these things. And then, yeah, so we did that for a while. And then I met my fiance 3 years ago, and We blended our families. We both had been through similar experiences with our past, and it was actually a gift from God. All of these challenges, when you believe in a higher power, they're actually all beautiful gifts. And when we're going through it, it might seem like the end of the world, but there's a bigger plan in place. So that's what's led me here. My company, Your Best Life, we also founded that during the pandemic too. And that's a high level mastermind for business owners and entrepreneurs around the world. It's based off family, faith, fitness, and finance. It's a year-long membership for people. And within that, they get business coaching, personal coaching, networking with like-minded people. It's a group of people who also, it's Christian based. We also give back to communities. What we do 4 events a year around the world, weekly bucket list trips. We're headed to Dubai in 2 weeks to do our finance trip. And we always go into these places and try to make them better than they were when we got there. Last year, we went to Rwanda, went gorilla trekking. I gave back to the community. A lot of single moms there who their parents disown them. And this beautiful man created a community and taught them how to sew and brought their babies in to teach them a gift of how to support them and their little ones. And we spent a couple days with them, helping them with the kids, showing them how to cook, painting, giving them picnic tables. And that's the part that's really the true gift, is giving back, because we all have so much. And it's really about helping others.
Yeah, I agree. And I love, what is gorilla? What is gorilla trucking? What is that?
So
You're like, just said that. I'm so like, yeah, that's
So
cool.
in Rwanda, they call it gorilla trekking, where you hike into the mountains. If you've seen the movie Gorillas in the Mist,
Okay.
and this is the true thing that happened in the 80s. So we hiked for about 3 hours into the mountains, into the Congo, and found gorilla families. The group we went with, they have guys that go out there the day before to see where the families are at, and there's only 800 of them left in the world because they were poached at one time.
Oh,
That's illegal now. But anyway, they are the most gentlest animal. Our guide was like, you'll hear the silverback and you'll hear them bang on their chest and make a noise. And we were all kind of like, okay, we learned these different noises we had to make. So when you're in it, you forget like everything. It's like all of a sudden we heard the boom, boom, and I'm like, what was that? And I look at the guy who was next to me, he's silverback, the whole family. The silverback and the mama with her babies came out of the woods, walked around us. It was incredible bucket list things that you can't explain to someone what that feels like.
no, it's definitely on my bucket list. Like, I love to see animals and gorillas and maybe some dogs getting rescued
Yeah.
over anything on my social media. Totally opposite from the content that I create is that
Mhm.
I love to see wild animals, either whether it's a lion who got
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
man and ate the man, or
Yeah.
it's a gorilla
Right.
stomping his chest. I just find the
You know,
animals so beautiful
and
and
it's nature.
powerful.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like connection to nature, which is a beautiful gift. So that was our family trip. So it was all about relationships. And on that trip, we brought John Gray, who wrote the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
I know.
John, we typically, our events are set up 3 hours in the morning. We do content with him. So you can work one-on-one with him, with your partner, or if you're single and looking for that special person. And then we took the family aspect up into the jungle to experience the family of gorillas.
So, getting into these amazing experiences, whether it's helping single moms or seeing a mom gorilla, what got you into unveiling this journey of wanting to be into the business arena? And I would love for you to talk about that fulfillment of being a mom and yoga and the business success. Can you share a little backstory?
Sure. It's like we all have a higher purpose. For me, when I was younger, I was in sales. My goals were driven differently. And then I was like, no, I really want to make a difference in people's lives and help people and make a difference in the world. And I think when you put something out there, write on it and meditate on it, the path kind of opens. So for me, it was like starting off when I got my yoga teachers the training certification, and then from there it was working with Tony Robbins and getting all that incredible experience of meeting amazing people. That's what led me to starting Your Best Life. One of my clients that I worked with there called me after I had left and said, oh, we want to create this new business. So it's relationships. It's like everyone you meet, you never know where they're going to show up again and give you an opportunity. For me, I was blessed in the sense that the people I met and the relationships that I curated brought me to where I am. And my experience with personal development, with the yoga, that led me to us starting Your Best Life. We all have these incredible gifts. And so many people are like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel unfulfilled. And I really think what you talk about a lot too, if you're practicing what you preach every day, if you're praying, if you're active and believe and really have beautiful daily rituals, those things are going to start to open up for you. It's in these quiet moments of meditation or yoga practice, praying at church, where these ideas and thoughts come, and then it's acting on them. So for me, I've been blessed with what I do now, um, that I can balance. I run an incredible company. I have 2 kids, an incredible man of my dreams who's my life partner, and we do everything together. But it's because I knew something else was out there, and it's just trusting and following the path.
Yeah. No, it is. And I would you say, and I want to go into that, what your thoughts on yoga as a Christian, and then bringing that into your business? Because I agree. I've spent years, because we all know the history and the controversy behind yoga. Everybody has different
Yeah,
perspectives of that. But for those who are seeking, for me, I love stretching, exercising. I love squat, but I love it in a way that I'm really stretching my body, but I'm also working out. It feels a lot more relaxing, rejuvenating. Those are my favorite workouts to
yeah,
add when
yeah,
I'm doing stuff, walking, just very natural.
yeah,
It's very stress relieving, but
yeah.
also is so good for your body. But it's so hard to find that because of the controversy with yoga. You've been doing this for 13 years. What would you say to someone who's listening? And I hear these things, but I really love the aspects of, like you said, the movement,
Yeah.
exercising. What would you say to that?
So I think it's what you make of it. If some people, if you're really set on, oh, history and these beliefs and which I totally respect people who are still there, and that's okay. But what's worked for me is I take my faith, which is Christian, and I take my yoga, which is more of my spiritual practice. It's like combining the two. So I take the good out of both, and that works for me. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's going to work for everybody, but for me, that's been the secret recipe between prayer and Christianity and God and then the yoga practice, I don't dwell on the past and history and
Right.
I
I know
look
what you're
at
saying.
now, things change, things innovate, and that's life. But I'm a big believer because that's what I do for a living is people change and people grow. And I've seen people become different people. That's humanity. That's believing.
Mm,
That's having faith. Right. And
different.
yeah,
Hallelujah. Thank you.
right.
Yeah.
No kidding. I also believe with our bodies, we hold our issues in our tissues. So if we're not opening and expanding and
Mm,
stretching and releasing that, it's stagnant energy. So your hips are going to be tight. That's a big emotional center, especially for ladies. It's if your neck and your shoulders, and if you're not moving that energy, it's going to get stuck. It's going to create sickness. It's going to create an injury. So it's really about connecting the breath to the movement. I call it a moving meditation. It's about the inhales and the exhales and opening the physical body. In turn, would open up your spiritual mind or your faith or whatever you want it to be. Like I always tell my classes, I'm not preaching a religion to anyone. This is an open place for anyone. But that's what's worked for me.
mm.
And I, like I said, I just take the two with my faith and my yoga practice for what works for me.
Yeah, and your business is called Grace Yoga. I'm passionate about this, at the body aspect. So I'm reading this book called The Garden Within. Have
Mhm.
you ever heard of it? I have been doing EMDR therapy for a while.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if you know the backstory, but regardless, I 100% agree with you. We are basically asking our bodies the things that we've been through, the trauma, the stress that we're carrying in the present time. If we're not dealing with that in a healthy way, or if we don't know how, which most
Right.
people don't,
We
we're
don't.
basically subconsciously asking our bodies, would you hold that for me?
Yeah.
Would you hold that for me, until we can't anymore? And then you have all these other issues with depression,
Yeah.
anxiety, maybe physical aspects like your
Yeah.
hips are hurting, your
Yeah.
back is in pain. Your body carries your
Like,
emotions if you're not dealing with them in a proper way. Also, I love how you're combining your spiritual aspect with what you take from it. If we look at the biblical aspect of that, right? The Bible aspect. We learn the history. We
Exactly.
appreciate everything God has done because guess what, Megan? Everything from the Old Testament led us to Jesus. It was Jesus, the future was the connection. But we're not sacrificing sheep to be forgiven anymore. Hallelujah. I don't want to do that. And just like anything that the enemy meant for bad or all the religious aspect, because you said it's about relationship. It is. It's about relationship over religion. And just like anything with this practice, I believe we're taking it back because literally God's name is Yahweh. I'm a nerd, a theology nerd sometimes, but the Greek theology of that, if you say it correctly, it sounds like breath. So it's Yahweh. It's a
Yeah.
breathing in and out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, Megan. I love it is breathing, it is movement, is these things that God gave us, and we're taking care of them in a healthy way. And so we can read the history of it. We read the history of the Bible, and we say we're taking it back. And we're
Mhm.
representing it in a way that was actually God given,
Mhm.
and we're worshiping the Lord. We're meditating on the Lord rather than anything else, but spiritually connecting intimately. I love what you're doing.
And it's
Brought
beautiful.
it
Like,
into your mastermind.
yeah. And like you said, it's how can we bring it into modern day? It's like everything has evolved. That's what I love. It's taking a verse and saying, okay, let's read it, let's look at it, and then how can we apply it now? And even I love how you say Yahweh, because I'm a divine like energy healer, and it's about channeling and bringing God. And we say Yahweh El Elyon in our opening prayers, and it's taking the channel through God and healing people. And it's energy work. We do a lot of chakra balancing and things like that, but it's all connected to God. You need that to heal your body. And like you said, Keisha, about your trauma being held inside of you. I was on a call the other day and someone said, a healthy person has 1,000 wishes and dreams, and an unhealthy person has just one, and that's to be healthy. So, like, if we're not taking care of this beautiful vessel, this gift that we've been blessed with to bring us around this lifetime, we have to, it's a must. And then
Yeah.
we show up for our children, for our spouses, for our community, for our work in a better place. Because I know for me, if I'm not balanced, if my body's not in line, if I'm not putting the right things into it and fueling it, then I'm not showing up as my best self. So I
Yeah.
think, we really, especially as women, we're taking care of everybody. You got to take time for yourself and ask for help. It's hard.
Yeah. It'll lead to the burnout if we don't ask for help. And sometimes I think that getting to that point of overwhelm is the necessary aspect to ask for help. Because it shows you the lie of whatever it is you believed or didn't know, that
Yeah.
relationship aspect of the connection. I'm gonna tell you what she's talking about, okay? Um, but when you talk about the body, the Lord says that it's our temple, and we need to care for what we put in it and what we see and what we hear and what we
Mhm.
say. It is very much a part of our spiritual journey. I read a verse last night. It was Paul talking in Second Corinthians. It talks about comparing it to fire. If we're not truly healing these aspects of everything within our spiritual walk with the Lord and we put them in alignment, and that's mental, emotional, soul, our
Yeah.
walk. If we're not doing the work, when the fire comes, because the fire will come, the world is falling, life is hard, it is relentless. Even if we have God, we'll get through the flames, but we barely survived. So there's a salvation aspect that talks about salvation. Yeah, you have Jesus, but you could have healed. You could
Yeah.
have overcome the flames when you do the work, when you heal, when you invest in yourself, when you truly take the time to be everything that God has designed you to be. You heal in that realm and you put your all of these things in alignment. We can't prevent the flame.
Yeah. No.
Control is an illusion. We can
Right.
only self-control. That's what the Bible says.
Yep.
So when the flames do come and we've done that, oh, we're overcoming and growing. The
Mhm.
flames won't doesn't they don't affect us. And so you truly can thrive in your life, not just survive. And you know what I'm
Totally.
saying? And you're a testament of that. You
Yeah.
literally told us a little bit about, what you went through with your divorce. And you have a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old, but totally different aspects of life. You have been doing this for a while. And I love when you brought that in about when you were talking about, you said we need to be good for our children. We need to show up in these aspects. Do you want to talk about that in your own journey about motherhood? And you share a bit about blended families. You've been through this journey. And you have been able
Mhm.
to fulfill all these roles in a great way. I think about the woman that's listening, Megan, and how I'm just surviving and I don't know what to do. But I have all these things that I know I can do. I have all these desires to do more. What would you tell her in your own?
I think for us, when we came together, it was again, experience leads you to, okay, what do I want to make right maybe this time around and do better. And for us, it was having our kids in a home that they felt really loved and appreciated. Both of our former partners suffered from addiction, and my stepson's mom passed from it. And my ex-husband has chosen that road, and that's okay. That's God's plan right now. So for our children, every day we sit around the dinner table and we go around and we talk about what was your rose and your thorn and your bud. So your rose is the best part of your day, your thorn was a challenge, and then your bud is what you're looking forward to. And it's so fun because, like we said, we have 16 6-year-old, and it's just a beautiful way for us to connect. We have sat down with our children and we have cultivated family rules and values in our home, which are be kind and compassionate, be respectful, be responsible. And it's really cool to see how these things play out with the different age group. And it's not just the kids. So it's not like we're saying, you have to do this. No, it's on us too. If something comes up and we call each other out, oh, was that kind and compassionate? And it's beautiful because it shows the children that they're part of this unit. It's the four of us, we're in it together, plus a bunch of animals. I want my children to be in a calm, loving household. The yelling and the screaming is not effective when you're communicating with anyone. And
Yeah.
so we wanted to cultivate a safe, loving, nurturing home for our kids. We go to church together, we pray together, we eat our meals together, and we talk about our days and our challenges. And we have our kids involved in the different schooling that they experience in different leadership programs that they're in too, because it's easy to get lost in this world, and our children need us now more than ever. It starts with you. It's you have to be ready to show up as your best self. Sometimes having a child will catapult you into that, but you really got to be in a good place to be there for your kids, I believe, and for your spouse. It's not anyone else's responsibility. My happiness is my responsibility. And we always talk about people will say and do things. We can't control that. The only thing we can control is
Mm.
the way we react. So, and we have choices, which is a blessing. So for us, family comes first. I'm blessed with the career I have and the travel that we do, but the best thing in the world is just being with your family and your loved one. When you lose that in your life, you don't realize how special and sacred it is. So we just feel so incredibly grateful for the family that we've created. We created this. God brought us together, but we don't take that for granted one second of the day.
Mm. I respect you so much and the values that you hold. Would you say, you talk about mastering the dynamic of blended families, and you talked to us just now about being able to, that's how you're fulfilled. It's your priorities, is what I'm hearing you say. But would you say that you mastered that in the beginning? Like, how was your journey throughout figuring, okay, this is what really matters that brought that success? Do you want to talk about the connection with that?
Being a parent is so humbling because nobody tells you how to do it. And you're just like,
Nobody.
whoops, that was a miss. We'll try
Jesus,
again
you
better
fulfill what I
tomorrow.
broke.
So it's
Mm.
learning as we go. Every day is kind of different. But I think, especially in the beginning, it was a lot of change, especially for the teenager and the little one, because the little one's kind of, what's my place here? The teenager,
Mm.
what the heck's going on in my life? But if we really just held the space for them to express their emotion, it was never like, we never say to our kids, oh, you shouldn't feel like that, or that, no, because that's dismissive, right? And they're entitled to their emotion. They're figuring it out too. So we work with a coach who specializes in family dynamics. His program was powerful, creating these values, and rules, and integrating the whole family to be a part of it has been a beautiful thing. So it's not one kid thinks it's this way, one kid thinks it's that way. We're not on the same page as a couple. So it's really about about the whole unit, and I'm so grateful for what he's taught us. And that's why I'm such a believer. Everybody needs a mentor, whether it's in your family dynamics, in your relationship. If we're going to continue growing, we need people who are practicing what they preach and doing it better than us so we can continue to grow and evolve.
Mentors need mentors. We all
Yeah.
need someone to help us guide in
Yeah.
this journey. That's where the relationship aspect comes.
And it's the people you surround yourself with too. As I've gotten older, I'm selective now.
Mm.
I wanted to help everyone and take everyone in. And now it's okay. Nope. I got to protect my energy and set boundaries for myself and really just put around me the people that fill me up and that see me grow, but also challenge me. And I always tell people, who are the 5 people you surround yourself with? Because if you looked at them, people, you could see how much they make, what kind of family they have, what kind of relationships they have, what kind of health they're in. Who you surround yourself with tells a lot about a person.
Yeah, it does. Just practicing what you preach. So
Yeah.
important, Megan. It really is important that we are paying attention to who we let in our life or who we share our things with. Like
Yeah.
all your successes. I'm sure for you, you got to a point where you're like, not only are you not for your stuff for everyone because it's just natural, but you want to talk about also my success or my stories are also not for everyone. Would you agree
Right.
with that?
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of this life, right? There's something for everyone. It's, hey, I might not be a cup of tea for this person, but maybe for another person. And that's okay. We're
Hmm.
all there's so many opportunities in life, whether it's, oh, that's why I say to people, if you're not part of a peer group or something, find one. Doesn't have to be the one I'm in, but find one that resonates with you and your growth
Yeah.
and your journey.
Yeah.
Diversity makes the world go around. If we were all exactly the same, it'd be a really boring life.
Yeah. And you cover all of this in your mastermind, your best life now.
Yeah.
You unite your faith,
Yeah.
your family, your fitness, and the finances for entrepreneurs. What would you say to as a leader? Cultivate leadership, personality, the entrepreneur, we like to call excellence, from the journey of having the vision to triumph. How would you define that? Like, what would you?
Get clear on your purpose, whatever kind of business you're in. What is the purpose? Do you have alignment within your business? Do you have transparency within your business?
Transparency, that's good. Could you talk about the practicals of that? Like, how do I get clear alignment
Yeah,
mean?
my business, we have SOPs in line so this business can run if we're not there. Exactly what we want: more time as business owners, more time as parents, more time in your marriage. And so if we have these things, these standard operating procedures in place, your business should run when you're not there or when the secretary has to take a day off or this person or that one. So we also have the alignment within the organization. So people are very clear of outcomes. Each person on our team has a job description. They're probably only 5 to 7 bullet points. They don't have to be these massive job descriptions, but everyone needs to know what they own. What are they bringing to the table? Who was that? I don't know. No, everybody knows. And what we do in our company is at the end of every year, I meet with everyone on my team and they have to rate their self on their job description and what they've done. I'm not rating them, they're rating themselves.
Wha-
So that is giving them an opportunity because I'm not a leader if I'm not helping my team grow. I love watching my team grow in their business and their personal lives. And I think that's what true leaders do. They bring out the best in the people that they have working with them. And then simplicity and transparency. Transparency is like the simplicity factor. Don't make things so big. Again, these job descriptions, like I said, some people write these pages and pages. No, 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 no. Just like you got your bullet points. A lot of people don't anticipate. So then when winter comes or a new season comes and something happens in the economy or in your world of business, you're not prepared. So you always have to anticipate if the worst case scenario happens, are we prepared? Are we strong enough as a company to move through this? So those are the things to get clear on your vision and your purpose within your organization. And when you have that clarity and you have those SOPs in place, you have those job descriptions in place, then your company and you have the right people. It's about culture. We are very particular with the people we bring into our company. We have them take personality assessments to figure out what drives them, what are their motivators, to make sure you're putting the right people in the right seat on the bus. So I think if you're prepared, it's a lot easier than if something happens along the way, then you have to clean the mess up. So really being prepared and really knowing what the purpose is of your business and as a leader. And then of course, once those things are in place, it's basically having, like I said, having a coach, a peer group that's going to help you continue to grow because we all have blind spots and a coach can help us navigate through those. And that's what you really want.
Yeah. Megan, you said that your industry, your business, you guys have events. And I know that I would love to introduce my community and how to connect with you. So,
Sure.
do you want to share those events and then where people
Yeah.
can find your mastermind, your membership?
We are YBL now, that's NOW.com. And on there, you'll see what we're all about, some of our past destinations, our past speaker, and our next trip at the end of this month, we're headed to Dubai for our finance trip. So if anybody wants to go to Dubai, you can reach out to us on our website or on Instagram. It's at yourbestlife.now. And also every Thursday, we have what we call speaker spotlights from 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern time, where we bring in different people in industries, again, whether it's faith, family, fitness, and finance. And it's an hour call that we hear them out, hear their message. It's usually just for the people in our group, but I would love to offer it to anybody that is listening and your listeners as well.
Yeah, that sounds really great. I love the aspect of connection and community. So important. Megan, if there was one thing you could share with our listener, what would that one thing be?
Okay, so one fun fact.
First, one real, one important thing that you would want our listeners to take away from today.
I guess the biggest thing I take away from today is really look who you're surrounding yourself with and take inventory of your life and ask yourself, is this part of the problem or challenge in my life, or is this actually helping me move forward and to grow? And I think that in itself, if you get to a place where you're like, oh, I don't know, no one in my group is really pushing me forward, evaluate and find a community. It's through your podcast. That's a community. But it's find a community that you can start connecting with other women, like-minded women, so that you have support. Because like I said, we need each other and we need support. And it's okay to ask for help. So find your tribe. That's what my message would be.
Yeah, you are the epitome of bringing out purpose in women and people, lining that in every aspect of their life, just the uniting it and not making it a separate thing. So powerful. I'm going to
Mhm.
keep praying for you to keep building teams and communities. You are a do it all kind of woman. And so just know that you have another girl's girl cheering you on.
Oh,
And
thank you,
here for
Ashley.
you
Right
for
back
all the
at you.
things. I appreciate that. I receive that. And as we talk about girls, we love to find out fun, juicy, fun facts about each other. So I used to do this thing called 21 questions, but I try to simplify it. And Megan, just three fun questions.
Okay.
The first question is, what is it that you're reading and or watching right now?
Okay. I am reading. Where is it? I just had it on my desk. I want to tell you ladies about it because it's such a great book. We're reading it. I'm in a women's group, but now, of course, the name of it slipped, but I have it right here. Hold on.
Well,
Sorry.
I'll go to my
Go
second.
to the next question.
Are you watching anything?
I'm more of a reader. By the time I go to bed at night, we fall asleep. So I wish I had more on the Netflix or TV stuff, but the book, it's called Unbound and it's a women's guide to power. So I would definitely recommend ladies, especially in leadership or just in life, families. It's really a cool book.
Unbound. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food, I would have to say, I love a really good Greek salad and of course
Yes.
pizza.
I love that. I love balance. You have and then my third question would be, if you could go somewhere, anywhere in your life right now, where would it be? What would you be
I'm
doing?
gonna have to be honest, home, because
Mm.
it's like we travel a lot and I've gone to so many amazing places around the world and I feel incredibly blessed. The
Wow,
one place that I love to be is home with my family.
that's so good. I love that. I'm a homebody at heart, so I appreciate
Mhm.
that. Megan, Thanks for coming on. Is there anywhere else you want to let anyone know where to connect? You're on Instagram, you're on
Yep.
social media. What are your usernames? And I'll drop all this in the show notes.
Sure. Yeah. Our Instagram handle is at yourbestlife.now. And my personal one is at Megan McShane 99. And our website is yblnow.com.
Thank you for coming on Confidence and Coffee. It was an honor to connect with you, and I hope to have you back again.
Definitely.
Conversations.
Thank you, Ashley. And thanks for all that you're doing out there too.